Wait, hold on. Hey, babe. She won't be able to hear me. She's playing games, probably.
Leave her alone. Let her play games.
Oh, no, it's because she said she was gonna. She's making me something.
Oh. Do, 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 do,
Hey, babe.
Do, 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 do.
Come here.
Do, 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 do. Bum. Da, dun, 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 dun. Oh, let me do some stuff really quick too. Be right back. Hello and welcome to this episode of Up Until Now podcast. I am your co-host JD
I'm your other co-host, Andrew.
and want to thank you again for just stopping in and taking a listen to this episode of our podcast. And yeah, I think this episode is more of a reactionary episode and a continuation of last week's episode. As we heard last week, Andrew had a lot of fun news when it comes to his personal life, and also Esther and I have been going through wedding planning and that got us thinking of like, what does it look like when we have new relationships, and also when like kind of just life transitions in general. I know that Andrew and I are going through like very different things that we've never really experienced before, and I think it's nice to like try to get an understanding of what we personally feel like now, and then maybe in a couple months or years down the line we can just revisit and to see how our thought process has changed since the time has passed. So
Well, on the last episode, I mentioned that I have a new girlfriend. Ashley, I got a new girlfriend. Yeah, it's been fun, really fun. I moved in to her place, pretty much. It's a bit of a drive to work now. I originally lived here when I interned at my workplace, so like I've done it before. I'm used to it, but it's a very different feeling from back then doing it now, because back then I would come back from work exhausted to no one, and it's lonely when you do that, and like you're exhausted and like there's no one there, but it's a very, very good, like, warm feeling when you come home to someone welcoming you at the door with like a hug and a kiss. It makes you all giddy,
no, I completely understand. That.
I mean, it honestly just makes the drive worth it. And to be honest, like, again, I mentioned it before, like, the amount of times I was driving to come here, like, every other day and stuff like that, it's so much better to just go straight from work to here and here to work than to go from work to my place, from my place to her place. It's just exhausting. And I have to go back really late at night and I'll be really tired. But nope, I just wake up early, sleep decently early, and we're good to go.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense as to why you're doing that, because beforehand, like, you guys did live pretty far apart before you like moved into her place. So, like, my question is that it's going to be a little bit of a personal question, is like, did you think that it was too early to move in, or like what really did cause you to like be like, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to move in together at this point?
So, like, I know a lot of people are going to say that, like, we're moving pretty quick. Like, technically, we've been dating for 2 weeks, and we already moved in. But
Yeah, that's why I was pretty much asking that question, because it hasn't been too long where you guys have been official and you guys are already essentially, like, when it comes down to it, you guys are essentially living together.
yeah, and I get why people think that, because at first, to me, even, like, I was like, am I moving too quick? But then obviously, like, the other side of me, like, won over, because the way I see it is that me and Ashley have been friends since January, right? I mean, even 3 months. That's not a long time to, like, decide if you want to move in with someone. Thing with Ashley was, I don't know if you've ever had this kind of feeling before, but have you ever met someone And then just like throughout, like maybe a day or two goes by after knowing them, like a thought goes into your mind like, did we know each other before? Like how am I so comfortable around you? Like why is it so easy to talk to you? Like immediately, like
I can't think of like in a way, huh? I don't think I've had that feel. I don't know. I might have in the past, but it actually might have been just like I don't know, man. Like not like off the first couple days. It's usually like a first month or something.
see, that's how it was for me and Ashley.
Got it. Okay.
Even though we met through Tinder, for some reason, like our very first conversation got deep quick. Like we don't know why. Like we were able to talk to each other so comfortably, like from the start. And she opened up to me through messages first, obviously, and she straight up told me, she's like, I don't really talk to people about this specific topic, but for some reason it just felt right to tell you or blah blah blah. And I mean that's how I felt too, and I opened up to her immediately. And when we first did meet up, I stayed over at her place from 6 p.m. all the way till 5 a.m. And the thing is, like, it was like an innocent meetup, and we just hung out like we were already friends for the longest time. We just sat around, watched or played games, and we just hung out. Like it just felt so natural being with her. And from January to recently, we were friends, but the difference between that was we became very close. Like we became a very big, significant part of each other's lives because we bonded through playing games, goofing around, and blah, 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 like spending time with each other. And then she slowly became my best friend, Not replacing you, like not that best friend.
What?
It's a female best friend. It's different.
What?
You are my best man. She is my best friend.
I don't know what difference that makes.
You're 0. She's 1.
Okay, I like 0. That's fine.
Yeah. You are the first.
Okay, first. That's fine.
But you know what I mean. Like she started becoming my best friend.
No, I got you. I understand.
And to me, it was like, and then when we did start dating, it felt natural. I was like, why wouldn't I want to be with my best friend? Like if I had the option to live with you, boom, I'd live with you. Well, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, that's a agreement. Yes.
I mean, that's how I felt with Ashley. Is like, I want to constantly like hang out with her because it's so nice to be with her. She makes me happy, and it's fun, and it's always something interesting going on with us. I mean, that's the main reason why I decided can I just bring my shit here? Because like every time I would go over to her house and she's like, "Hi, I missed you," blah blah blah, and then when it's time to leave, like we both get upset because I have to go drive all the way home, and then it's gonna be like a day or two before I can come back. I'm living with her now, and I'm loving it.
My follow-up question would be, do you think it's something that will like last throughout your entire relationship, or is it like I don't want to like plant seeds of doubt in your head.
Mhm.
Like that's not my job here, but I genuinely just want to know because I'm curious and I want to make sure that you're okay. And and, like what if this is just like a honeymoon period and like after that kind of dies down, something goes wrong and it ends up not continuing or it ends badly, something like that.
Yeah, no, so we did talk somewhat about it, like our future, because my original plan was to move back to Illinois.
Illinois?
Or I mean, back home. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, Illinois?
I think of Illinois.
I was like, yeah, you're not moving back to Illinois. I don't like if you did, then you didn't tell me. I'd be pretty pissed.
No. Sorry. When I say home, I like think of Illinois immediately because that's where I grew up.
Got it. Okay.
That's the original plan, and I told her that. And she was supposed to be, she thought about moving to Florida. So there was like that huge distance. But after, we became official, we talked about it. I was like, hey, are you still planning on going to Florida anytime soon? She's like, no, not anymore. Because she wants to stay committed with this. And I told her that's kind of how I feel about me going back home. So when our lease ends, we're planning on signing for an apartment together and moving
And where would that apartment be?
in Bloomington. So I did calculate all this stuff about like, I'll be spending more money on gas and all that stuff. But in the end, I believe I'll be saving a little bit more money because rent will be a hell of a lot cheaper than what I'm paying now. And grocery wise and stuff like that, it's going to be split. So we don't need to worry about it. And hopefully within the next year or two, I'll be getting a big promotion or some kind of promotion at work because we are opening up a new amphitheater and stuff like that. And they're going to be needing director positions down there.
So what you're saying is you're going to be staying at the Parks and Rec position in like the suburbs of Indianapolis, but you're going to be living in Bloomington?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And we did talk about like the whole, we didn't talk about it. We like mentioned like, is this just a phase, I don't think it is, just because like I'm like this all the time. Even that's how it was for my ex. Like she told me like I never believed in the honeymoon phase because that's just how I am. Like I'm cheesy and corny all the fucking time. But my ex believed in the honeymoon stage. And, she kept saying, oh, this is that. But I was like, I never changed, though. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Obviously, you changed, but, like, I didn't because I don't believe in that. And I acted the same throughout. And that's sort of how Ashley views it, too. I don't think she really believes in that whole stage crap because this is just how she is. And the fact that, like, me and her can just be ourselves. I think it really helped the fact that, like, we were friends first. For however long we were, like, and then we became really close because like it's so easy to just be yourself, and I think that's what makes me believe it'll work because me and her are acting like ourselves, like normal. Like I can act the way I act around you in front of her, and then it's just comfortable, and I think and I hope and I pray to God it lasts.
Like when you say like it lasts, like all the way kind of thing, like marriage till death does it part.
We already talk about our future.
Okay.
I already told her, I was like, hey, I hope you're gonna be okay with naming one of our daughters Esther. And she's like, I guess. But yeah, we talked about that, and I told her about the whole. So like, her dream is to go to Florida and live there or Cali, but I told her about our Colorado dream. And she is slowly accepting it. She's saying, oh, I mean, Colorado's not that bad, I guess. We could go on nice hikes. I could learn how to snowboard. I was like, that's right. And then I told her, I was like, our dream is to open up a big like snowboarding bike shop with a coffee or boba shop. She's like, oh, I love coffee and boba. I was like, that's right. And I mean, we already talk about wedding stuff, and because just like I'm very into it now because you're in that process of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she is very into it. Like she's very girly at times, and she loves looking at wedding dresses and like planning things. And I try to get in the mood with it too because I kind of want to try understanding what you're going through so I can try processing some things with you.
It's awful, man. Don't try it until you absolutely need to because
but for me, it's just fun because we're not actually there.
No, that makes sense. I think beforehand, when you're thinking about it, you're like, oh, that would be nice and do this, and that.
We're in the daydreaming phase.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all about thinking about it and just like picturing it, which is always fun. But then when you have to think about how many people do I have to invite, what does my guest list look like, and how much each person is going to cost at this wedding, it just blows your mind. Oh, God.
I better hurry up and send Ashley's dad a thank you note.
That, and you have to save money, man. Start saving now because, oh, God, it is ridiculous how much it is. I always thought it was the venue that was the most expensive part. No, fuck that. It is the meal. It's the actual meal that costs the most amount of money. It's ridiculous. And then just underneath that is alcohol, of course, which I knew. But underneath that, surprisingly, it's flowers.
Hell yeah, decorations?
Yeah, flowers are fucking expensive.
Fuck yeah,
Why?
they are.
Why?
I suggest you don't even get flowers.
I mean, I want to get some flowers because, I mean, we have to have some kind of color theme going on.
Just use Christmas lights.
I mean, it's an option.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Christmas lights, that's what I want mine.
But, like, that's, like, a whole different topic. I mean, maybe one day in the future we can have, like, a wedding planning episode of, like, the groom's side of, like, wedding planning.
And then we'll invite Ashley and Esther on this side of our...
Yeah, and then we can like, hook up 4 mics because we have 4 mics for whatever reason. Yeah, that's definitely on the dock for a future episode. But right now, it's just so stressful. Esther and I are trying to, like, figure out a venue because as soon as we figure out the venue, everything else becomes easier.
Yeah.
So we just gotta pick a venue, and even that's really difficult. So I'm really glad to hear that you're doing well and that your personal life is moving forward. Because there was a time back in November, 5 months ago, that was it was pretty rocky.
October, November, yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of looking at that and seeing that how far you've progressed, even in like just 5, 6, or half a year.
Hey, but half a year is a long time. Time went by quick.
Yeah, like I didn't even realize it's been 6 months since we even started this, essentially.
I know.
Just the idea of us starting it started in October, November.
Yeah.
And then it's April. We still haven't released an episode yet, but we've recorded like 12.
We're on the brinks of releasing. We're just waiting on some updates and edits from our very nice artist.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks nice. Like if we can change a couple of the things that I mentioned, I think it would look pretty bomb. But we are very close to actually being able to release this podcast to people. I'm very excited because a lot of people have been asking about it. For me, anyways. Like I tell people, "Oh, I'm starting a podcast with Andrew," and they're like, "Oh, is it out? When can I hear it?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're still working on like a lot of different things behind the scenes. Like we're trying to get album covers and we're trying to like get a little bit of a stockpile of episodes, but I think we're getting there."
I mean, that's how it is with me. Like, I've told all my coworkers, and they keep every once in a while, they'll be like, "Hey, we're stuck at home all day. Gotta do something. Been listening to podcasts these days. I remember you telling me, where is it?" I was like, we're very close. And they'll just be like, "All right."
I'm really hoping we can release by May 1st. So next week, Friday, that's when I kind of want to drop everything because
yeah,
I'm tired of all this stuff just eating at my storage on my computer. I just want to send it out there and be like, "Fuck it, we're done. We're gonna do it."
I never need to touch this again.
Exactly. Like this is just future planning. Just thinking about even just our own life transitions and opening this podcast to like people that we don't even know, and they're just kind of just listening to whatever we're saying, I guess. I think we should just drop like 8 episodes just right off the bat.
You might as well.
Again, I'm really glad to hear that like your life and just like your personal and your overall emotional health has been like moving forward and into like a new transition, which I think you're excited for. And
I'm super excited. It's weird though, cause so like I like it's not weird. Not the weird's a bad word. I'm nervous. Only like in a good way, because like it's
so
like
more like anxious, like kind of like excitedly anxious.
Yeah. It's like moving in with, a roommate like in college or something, but it's not. It's different. You don't sleep in separate rooms. You sleep in the same room. And the thing I feel most bad about is the fact that I have a very not strict, but like I have a grandpa schedule. Like I wake up really early and sleep really early. But she is the complete opposite. She sleeps really late and she wakes up really late. But she's been slowly adjusting towards mine because she knows I have to sleep. She knows I have to sleep.
And not to mention, kind of your way of sleeping and waking up is technically the right, like the adult way of doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this whole quarantine time doesn't help her fix all this because there's nothing to do. She's slowly like, catering towards my schedule, which I'm very grateful for. But like honestly, I feel bad sometimes. It's like I tell her like when we're just laying down and cuddling, I was like, baby, you go play video games if you want. I can fall asleep to mouse and keyboard clacking, you know? She's like, no, I want to cuddle, and like I'll fall asleep and she'll just lay in bed, or she'll like lay in bed but like have like a show on and like stay awake for like I'll fall asleep at what, midnight? She'll stay awake till 3 or 4.
Oh my god, she sleeps so late.
I know. And then like
wait, hold on. I would never. I'm sorry. I can't say that at all. Esther and I fall asleep at like 1 or 2 every night. On average, it's like 2.
It's like that's not late. She sleeps.
It is when it is when we have to like we get up at like 6 or like 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Yeah, but it's gonna change as soon as my workplace starts opening up its facilities to the public. Cause I have to open.
Are you gonna be on that crazy schedule again where you're waking up at 3 a.m.?
Well, now like I have to no matter what wake up at 3 a.m. because I have to walk Moral. But I don't think I need to walk Moral because Ashley's home and she walks Moral when she wakes up. So that kind of makes it easier. But like I need to leave my house or here at 3:45 so I could get to work by 4:45 and have everything open by 5.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, so I'll be having to sleep at like 7 or 8 if I want like a good sleep, or just stay up, and come home, sleep throughout the entire day.
I mean, that could work. I've done that before.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of matches her schedule, but we'll just have a very fucked up schedule, the both of us.
That's
That's
rough.
We'll see what happens.
You'll cross that bridge when it gets there.
Right. But it's I'm very anxious in a very looking forward to way.
That's good. I mean, well, you should use that kind of feeling to maybe sit down and do a DTR.
That was a DTR.
Okay, maybe that's why your previous relationships have not been the best. DTR is defining the relationship.
Okay, what was that?
You've never heard of that phrase
No.
before?
What do you do in this DTR moment?
What you do in a DTR moment is you sit down with your significant other and you just literally go over what the relationship means to both of you.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times.
I hope you have done that.
I mean, I've done that and like we've established what it means, but I've never heard it called DTR.
Oh wow, that's really.
I mean, but then like I naturally want to know all the time like what it means to you or what it means to me, and like I let her know almost every other night. Like we just talk about like how we met, why it ended up this way, and like blah blah blah, and it reassures me a lot when she says like, I'm sure I want to be with you and like blah 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 and blah, blah, blah. Because I'm emotionally scarred and I'm damaged and I like to be reassured now.
I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, I like to be reassured as well. Esther can tell you that.
But she loves hearing how like I've liked her from the start, and
Okay, which you've told me and on this podcast as well.
And it reassures her a lot too. And like we and her have those moments almost very often.
I just want you to be sure, like making sure like you sit down and describe and define what the relationship and what you guys want out of it. It's hard to start a relationship, especially if both parties are not on the same page. That's just asking for a disaster. Discussing and defining what you want from the relationship so that both parties know. If both of you are just looking for a fling, that's fine. Then just as long as you both know that that's what it is. But one of you is looking for marriage and the other one's looking for a fling, then it's not going to work. And it's
Yeah.
more often than not, it's probably going to end up bad.
Nah, for us, we're both looking for a marriage.
Yeah, so you guys are done like fucking around with like other people
Yeah.
or other relationships in general.
Yeah. Like we don't even think about it.
That's good.
That's how I was from the start though. Like even you, like even when we were in high school, like we had a mindset of someone who wanted to settle down at that age.
Which was pretty insane for both of us. But
Right. But that's just how I was and you were. So every relationship I go to, like, I'll give it my 100. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And it's nice to, get reassured by Ashley every time I ask her and stuff like that. Like, she wants the same thing I want.
That's good. I'm really glad to hear that. That really sets me at ease. Because again, looking for a third party perspective, it kind of happened where 1 week you're like, oh yeah, Ashley and I are official, and then you told us that while we were essentially the day after you left Champaign 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, we're seeing her a lot in your stories and stuff. Are you guys living together? And then you saying yes is just like, it was like, oh, okay, like something happened and we weren't sure. So, we're just worried for you, man. That's all.
Nah, it's all good things. All good things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good. It's just like new relationships and life transitions,
I think I was able to easily say that I wanted to be with her because so many of her things matched with what I was looking for,
Okay. Well, I did see her earlier with a friend sweater, so I very much approve of that.
Like,
very much approve.
dude, I'm telling you, the day I met her, like, it just felt like, were we friends before? Like, what that, like, who, do I know you? It just felt so natural. That's why I was, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Pretamanje. Well, I'm really glad, man. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I just wish that we didn't have like this quarantine and all this stuff so we could meet up and
I know.
not have to worry about it.
I met her best friend yesterday for the first time. So she needs to hurry up and meet you guys.
Hopefully soon. I mean, you guys live farther away from us now.
Yeah.
You're no longer like just a 2-hour drive. It's not like a 3.
Now it's a 3-hour drive. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's like might as well just go to Chicago.
Oh, God, I know. But I do want to bring her over to you guys because she's never had KFT. She's
Really?
never had good boba because she's grown up in Indiana her whole life.
Oh yeah, Indiana bubble tea's shit. It's garbage.
She's never had like solid bubble tea.
And honestly, like KFT's not that solid either.
But compared to everything else here, it's
All right, I'll give you that.
come on now.
I mean, because even the place that Esther and I go to, Bearology, it's really expensive, but the tea quality is really good, so that's why we always go. That and we're really good friends with the owners, and they give us free drinks. So, shout out to Nick and Mian.
Bearology's the one where you brought me the cups, right?
Yeah, the glass
See,
cups.
I want to go there just for the cups. I fucking love that.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Do you have to order special? Like, you have to buy the cups, or like, is all their drinks is from that?
So they're very economically friendly, like environmentally friendly. So they give you the cups, the glass cups, and if you bring them back, you get 10% off your next order.
Oh, that's very cool. Oh, that's why they're willing to give glass cups like that.
Yeah, so Esther and I have like 8 glasses in our cupboards, and we just kind of cycle them out.
I have 2.
Yeah, we have like 1 in our car as well, just in case if we decide to go, we don't have a cup.
Nice. Yeah. I do want her to meet you guys very soon.
I mean, I don't think we're doing anything this weekend.
Well, I mean, I'll talk to her too. 'Cause she's very nervous about that idea. I was like, I can't wait to introduce you to my best friend. She's like, I'm so nervous. I was like, why are you nervous? She's
Why
like,
would she be nervous?
she said it's because it's a big deal because you're my best friend.
I guess, and Esther and I would be like prying a little bit,
But I told her, I was like, I'm nervous to meet your friends tomorrow. Like, it was her best friend and her husband. I was like, whoa, I'm nervous. But like, we got along so well. Like, it was so fun.
Yeah, now it's your best friend and his fiance.
That's right. Oh, I'm excited for you guys to meet.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet her actually. So I mean, I'm glad like those life transitions are good. Like they're going well. It seems like you're a lot happier. So for me personally, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be marrying Esther. I'm really excited to be moving forward with that. What I'm not excited about and I think I've expressed to Esther and you, is just wedding planning is like one of the most frustrating things I have ever gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Esther and I can plan trips. We can plan like multi-people trips. We can plan like snowboarding trips. We could do all this other stuff. But when it comes to wedding planning, there's a stigma to it that I didn't realize that I was hoping that wouldn't happen to me, but it did happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's a lot of politics that are at play when it comes to the guest list.
Yes, there is.
And I had no idea, being the ignorant dumbass that I am. I was like, oh, my parents will let me invite whoever I want and they won't have any say in it. That is 100% complete and utter bullshit.
Why do you say that?
Well, it's just because my father's occupation really puts like a damper on like who I can invite.
And just a quick reminder, his father is a pastor.
Yes, my dad is a senior pastor at a Korean American church, which is also a good detail, an important detail to put out there. It's a Korean American church. Korean American churches operate and run a little bit differently, I think, than white congregations that I've attended and I've been a part of. It's very different on the way that the politics essentially works out in a Korean American church. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just a lot of the idealistics come from Korea, where it's a lot of respect and
Status.
Status is
And title and all that crap.
exactly that entitlement, and the titles is just, it's the worst. For example, there are different levels of leadership within the church. So there's like a deacon. I don't know what 권사님 means in English. There's a deacon level. There is a level above that, and then there's an elder, and then there's the pastors and whatever. I personally just wanted to invite one or two people from each group. Apparently, between the middle level and the high level of the elder level, if I invite one of them, I have to invite all of them.
Which is stupid.
So there's 5 elders at our church. So if I invite one, I have to invite 5 plus their significant others. So it will probably end up being 8. And then for the middle level, which in Korean is 권사님, the 권사님 level, do you know how many people there are in my church that are 권사님s?
Pretty sure you told me like 25.
There's 25 of them, and some of them are couples within that 권사님 level, but it's still a bunch of people that I have to invite. And essentially, with a single sentence of my father told me, I now have to invite 50 other people if I just want to invite 5.
And you gotta pay for it. Yay.
And I gotta pay for it. I mean, my mother always says like, oh, the culture is if we invite them, they'll pay for their meals and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all fine and dandy and great, but that's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that they'll be paying for their meals. And on top of that,
they're not even people that you wanted.
and on top of even that, it's just like Esther and I don't have the funds to put that initial down payment of $50,000 on a wedding to invite all these extra people.
You would think that you could do what you want to do on your wedding day.
Exactly. But it doesn't work out that way, sadly, which is fucking bullshit.
That sounds so annoying.
Which, I mean, Esther and I have thought about a possible way where we can have the best of both worlds, where we can have a wedding that we want and have a wedding for all like the family and just be more guest focused.
Mm-hmm.
But that requires us essentially get married without our parents present at the elopement. So essentially, we want to elope before the actual wedding ceremony.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah, that's what Esther and I are thinking, but I haven't brought this up to my parents yet, and I'm actually kind of terrified of doing that.
Don't tell them, just do it. Fuck it.
I mean, there's that too, but if I were to do that, then I have to I don't have to, but I want to invite my siblings.
Oh yeah.
So sneaking 3 people out of the house without my parents knowing for a couple days, it doesn't. I mean, we could probably make up some kind of lie. We're like, oh, it's just the siblings and Esther fiance trip, but you know my mom. My mom is pretty in tune with when her children are lying. So But I'm hoping that they understand, like, it's not because we want to be disrespectful, and it's not because we want to like hurt their feelings or anything like that. It's because we want both. And we can't do that if my parents and I are continually fighting about the guest list and being stressed out and continually arguing about something that we can't resolve. No matter what we do, someone's going to be upset and somebody's not going to be happy with our wedding or whatever. Like, you can't please everybody.
Which just sounds so dumb because, again, it's your day, your and Esther's day. That shouldn't be a problem that you should face.
It shouldn't be, but sadly it is. And I feel like it happens, like, not even just for Esther and I specifically, but I feel like it happens to a lot of people.
I feel, yeah, I can see why, because, parents, it's a big day for your parents too.
Yeah.
Essentially, because, their boy's getting married or their girl's getting married. So they want all of their friends to see your happy day too.
And I think that's dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good thing I don't have a lot of friends, so I don't need to worry too much. At least on my end, my guest list will be small.
I mean, that you say that now. I thought mine was gonna be small, but then after the first go through, it was like 275 people.
Yeah, I don't even know that many people.
I mean, you think that, but you technically only need to know half that amount because it's all the plus ones.
Oh shit.
Exactly. That's where it gets fucked up. That's where, like, you're like, oh shit, god damn it. And then sometimes, like, you have like parents, and then you have their kids. You kind of know the kids, but you only want the parents to come. But they're kind of a package deal, so you kind of have to let all of them come. So that's an added seat. Like, it all adds up so fucking fast.
I'm doing like a quick run through in my head, like who I know that in my wedding, at least, like right at the top of my head, like I know that I'll be inviting. So at the top of my head, my guest list right now, without doing any more research, is about 30, and that's it.
Yeah. Who does that
include? That includes you, Esther, like your family, my family, and really close family, but they're not that close, but like we still have to invite them because they're family.
Okay, and then just think about this though. You have to invite all your cousins, your aunts and uncles. All your cousins get plus ones if they're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So eventually that 30 comes into 60. I'm telling you,
that
man, like,
that 30 was added with all that.
I mean, then you have to add like JC, Justin for my siblings if you want them to come. I'm telling you, man.
They're not invited. The fuck?
If that's the case, then yeah, they're not invited. But it just adds up really fast.
No, I know what you mean. Still, luckily, I still don't know that many people. Thank God.
Honestly, you say that, but like, there's people that you forgot about. There's people that like you're just like, oh shit, damn it, I need to invite more people. Because
I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah, it's about like celebrating your day, and you're like, oh wait, what about this person? Like, for example, did you think of Nicole Lee?
Oh shit.
Yep, that adds 2.
All right, fine, you're right.
And if you want to invite their family as well, that's Nicole, her plus 1, her brother, and her parents. That's 5. Just like that.
You're right.
See?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? There's all these like little people that you forget about. And even on top of that, did you think of Amy Doe?
No.
Amy Doe, her sister and her parents, cuz her parents are friends with your parents.
No, that they should have been essential because like we're childhood friends and God.
So you know what I'm saying? That's like an extra 4 right there. So already your guest list at 45. My biggest tip to you, and I think Esther is in the same way, is prepare financially to like have a wedding. Because Esther and I, when we started dating, we essentially started talking about marriage about 3 months in. So roughly about the same as you. Mm-hmm. We were official for 3 months, but you've known Ashley, and you guys have been kind of like teetering for like the past 3 months. So we'll count it. But that's when we started really talking about being engaged and getting married in the future and what our future is going to look like. So just prepare, man. If you can save money, try to save as much money as you can because those days are coming up really fast and a lot faster than you think.
Yeah. So me and her have actually talked about like when we want to get married and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So we're thinking in she's what, 24. So in 4 years we want to get married.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like 4 years is a good time to like truly understand someone, and at the same time, save up and just get prepared for it.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think Esther and I are on that track. So
So
yeah,
they're,
we're on
like,
track
3,
for the
4
4
years.
years as well. I mean, it's 3 years of it's like 2.5 years of dating, like an engagement, and then another year and a half of wedding planning.
Yeah.
Which is another bizarre thing. It takes a year to plan a wedding.
I know, I don't know. Does Esther? I don't know about Esther, but does Esther have like a Pinterest and she has like so many wedding things pinned and stuff?
Yes, but we haven't even touched that yet. We haven't even looked at that board yet. She's looking at it for wedding dress ideas and stuff, and what kind of wedding dress she wants. So that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Ashley already knows what her wedding dress is.
But Esther has like decoration stuff, but we're not even thinking about that yet because we just want to lock down a venue
Mm-hmm.
because of all the pandemic that's happening, and yeah, people are rescheduling. So
Freaking this girl over here, she wants to go to Disney World. We looked at the prices; it's so fucking expensive. Oh my god!
yeah, Disney weddings are expensive, man.
Hell yeah! And that's what she wants.
Is there any way that she would be persuaded into maybe a Disney themed wedding and not a Disney wedding?
No, she'll be able to get. We'll be able to persuade her to a Disney themed at least.
Because I would be more than down for a Disney themed wedding, and Esther and I love Disney, so we'd be completely down for that. But I mean, if you guys want to have a Disney wedding, Esther and I will fly out there for sure and visit and be a part of the ceremony.
God, just imagine if we had to pay for everyone's room and flights.
Oh, you don't.
Oh, it's like
You just have to pay for
we're
mine.
doing it here. Obviously, come on.
Oh no,
now.
I was kidding. I was completely joking.
No, for you and Esther at least.
No. Just move that money to your family. Don't spend it on us.
Nah. You guys are family. What you mean? Come on, Nat.
It's an option.
Because like I keep telling Ashley too, like I want to go on like double dates with you and Esther.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I'd be more than down for that.
You guys like theme parks and stuff, right?
Yes.
I think we should go to a theme park.
Like Six Flags?
Six Flags or anywhere else. Like fuck. Like Indiana apparently has like decent places.
The only problem is right now is all those places are closed, and I don't think they're going to be opening this summer.
I know. Fucking pissed. And I'm pretty sure when they do open up, they're gonna rack up the prices and like limit to how many people can come in.
That's what I was thinking too. I think that's going to be with anywhere that has like, that's kind of like that, like any kind of amusement park or whatever. Water parks even too.
Disney World, especially like or like Universal, like they're gonna rack up their prices like crazy. Only like limited amount of people, but people that can afford it can go, and it's gonna be.
It's going to be mayhem.
Fucking coronavirus. Fucking.
It's going to be like where everyone has to stand in line 6 feet apart from each other.
I know. Everyone has to be wearing a mask.
It'll be really sad if it happens that way, but I don't know. I'm very hopeful for the future. I'm very hopeful that like it's not going to end up like that. But I don't know anything. I'm not like scientifically intelligent to predict the outcome of COVID-19 and how it's going to impact the earth, but I'm really hoping that it doesn't impact it like that because I love life, you know. I don't want to be stuck inside and talking to my best friend through a webcam for the rest of the time we're having this podcast or the rest of our lives.
Right. Hey, goddamn, let me know. I'll drive over. I'm going fuck.
I mean,
I die.
I mean, this weekend. I'll ask Esther.
All right, man. I'll talk to Ashley. I have to get Ashley's approval first. It's like I have to go ask my wife.
Yeah, I have to go ask my fiance. So
I have to ask my girlfriend. Sound like a child. I have a girlfriend.
it's fine. It was 3 years. 3 years. You can change it.
That's my wife. Oh, John Mulaney. Dude, what if John Mulaney hears this podcast and he just gives a big old shout out?
I don't think that's gonna happen because we're not funny enough to be mentioned by John Mulaney. But if he does hear it, that'd be pretty sweet.
I wonder if any famous person will listen to our podcast.
I don't know. I hope so. Maybe.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day if we keep this up for years and years.
And everyone else's podcast doesn't work, and we're the only ones left.
We're the only podcast left. Yeah, honestly, man, I think when it comes to moving forward in relationships and things like that, a lot of people kind of neglect the thought and the mentality of like financially preparing.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm like I'm an advocate for it, but I'm also the person that like forgets about it as well, just like everybody else.
For me and Ashley, we talk about it all the time because like I'm so scared to fall through that hole. So like me and her are always talking about it, like making sure like, hey, if you need help, let me know. We want to be there for each other. And like, I think that's a great quality about her. She's very open to me, and like she's not afraid to like communicate, like she's open about sharing like her problems because she is very committed to making this last.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because Esther and I are the same way. Like, we were very open with like our finances, and to an extent, you know, we didn't like give numbers or, you know, like exact numbers, but like saying like, yeah, I'm in a pretty decent amount of like student loans or XYZ, whatever. But it's always like nice to have that like sense of honesty, especially like in any kind of relationship. So
like the cool thing is Ashley and her sister's tuition was free.
Oh shit, why?
Yeah, her dad, I believe, was a veteran. He was injured or something, so the state paid for it.
Oh, that's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, so thank God it's just when we get married or something, it's just my debt that she needs to pay off.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's just my debt, or my student loan debt. Esther has her own debt that
hey,
you have to
Ashley
figure
makes
out.
a shit ton more money than I do.
Oh yeah?
I mean, she's a recreational therapist. She gets like $30-something an hour.
Oh shit, that's a lot. She makes more than I do.
That's why she wants to fucking hurry up and have this COVID thing end so she can get more clients and stuff.
Well, I mean, just use that and save, man. Like, I know certain individuals that are making the same amount of money that I am, about $40,000 a year, and they've been working this job for a decent while, and they have nothing to show for it. Nothing. They just spend it all, and they don't know where it went. Like, they don't have any kind of savings account or anything, or any kind of preparation for the future. Like, oh God, it breaks my heart to see, because I am very close to that person and that individual. But dude, like, so that individual, it does hurt to see, and like, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, it's not my place to tell this person. Yeah, it's their life. So like, I can't. Yeah, I can't tell them what to do. It's just not my place to do that. And I did the same thing with Esther for the longest time, where I didn't tell her how to spend her money, because it's not my place. It wasn't my place to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're engaged and we're like committed to like spending the rest of our lives together, like, it is now a part of my problem. So we've been attacking a lot of our own debts like together. That can be for the next episode, because of finances are very confusing for some people, and even for me as well. But
I mean, it's a little different for me and Ashley, because I am worried about like saving money and all that stuff. I mean, she is too, to a certain extent, but like, she just loves buying things.
my fiance is the same way.
Like, I already tell her not to buy some things. Like, I told her she's not allowed to. She wants to buy a fucking lightsaber. Like,
Okay.
why?
Okay, can we actually meet, because she sounds like a badass. I'm very excited to meet her.
She's never even watched it.
It doesn't matter if she's watched it or not. It's just the fact that she wants one makes her a fucking badass.
I hate that you agree with her.
The only reason why I agree with her is because I want one myself. So yeah.
Like, I straight up told her, I was like, you're not allowed to get a fucking. She's like, And then she snapped me the other day. She's like, I'm watching Star Wars because maybe then. And then like I didn't even let her finish. I was like, you're not buying a lightsaber. And she's like, what if I like it? I was like, you're not gonna like it. And then she fell asleep to it. I was like, see, you get bored of it so easily, you fall asleep.
Okay, Esther doesn't do like that kind of buying, but she's a lot of like little things. Like all like the little things like add up so fast.
For her, she's a gift giver.
Oh, really?
She spent like $400 buying gifts for her best friend for one birthday or Christmas.
Can I be her best friend?
They go crazy. So she's like, I hope you know for your birthday, it's gonna be a big day. I was like, I've never received that kind of stuff before.
Esther got one of her family members a very, very nice gift this year for Christmas. It was really nice. So I think Esther and Ashley will be able to relate on that because they go all out for like, it's not like maybe not birthdays, but definitely for like Christmas. Like we already have like a savings account dedicated to Christmas this year.
That's fucking crazy. Like that's so different from how I lived life. Cause like I never received presents and stuff like that.
Actually, now that we're talking about that, you should take the 5 love languages quiz. Have you ever heard of the 5 love languages?
No.
So the 5 love languages is a very popular book that was released, and it talks about how people like to receive and show their love. So there's 5 different ways that people tend to show affection to one another, and depending on what the personality of an individual, the strength in any one of the 5 changes. I'll send you the link after this, but there's gifts, quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So those are like the 5 big like love languages that people express their love, and you should really take that quiz with her, and then you have a better idea of like how to like show your love effectively to
them,
to your significant other.
Okay, yeah. As soon as you send it over, I'll take it tonight with her.
Esther and I, we actually take it maybe once every year because we've noticed it changes a lot too.
And I like it's understandable why it changes. And
yeah, like for example, like before Esther and I lived with each other, it was words of affirmation that was my highest. Like I wanted to be continually affirmed that like we do love each other and we're moving forward. Recently it's actually changed where it's quality time and acts of service actually went up a lot.
I can see acts of service. See, like, I like to do that for Ashley. Like, if she says, like, oh, I need to wear my phone, like, oh, I'll go grab that for you. Like, oh,
yeah.
like, I want
or like
coffee,
doing
I'll go make that
dishes
for you.
or like things like that. Yeah, I've noticed that since we've like started living together, splitting up chores, the way that we do that is, I feel like in our current relationship now and the way that we are doing things, that's how I feel like we can show each other the way that we love each other, you know? I really do want to continue like the financial talk, but that's like a whole nother topic, and that's a whole nother whole episode that we can do just on our own personal finances. You and I have talked in the past, like we're very open with our finances and how we do things and how we operate. And we operate very, very differently because our financial situation is very different. So I think it would be really great if we could have like a whole episode just dedicated to that. And maybe it'll be the next episode. So just another teaser, I guess. I guess we're like stringing these episodes together.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's all I really got to say right now. Like I think being in like new relationships and making these life transitions is a good time to just stop and evaluate what's going on in our lives, and so that when we revisit, or maybe in a couple years when we're like, oh, let's just listen to our podcast from the fucking beginning, like we can see like the progression that we've gone through, and yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Shit, we started this podcast with me depressed, you a bachelor.
Shit, yeah.
Well, not a bachelor. Well, yeah.
Yeah, technically.
And now it's I moved in with my girlfriend and you're engaged.
Yep, and it's becoming the death of a bachelor for me. Just to sum it up, like we're in like very good and very unique places, and I think for us it's just gonna be just trying to ride the wave and make sure like this momentum continues, and hopefully there's going to be like a dip and a down low somewhere within the next year or so for sure, definitely. But yeah, just being able to really enjoy the moments that we have right now, and being able to sit down and talk about the moments that we've been enjoying over the past few weeks it's just it's a rare thing to do that people aren't able to do, you know? So I'm just very thankful for this podcast, and I'm thankful for the listeners that have decided to continually listen to our podcast and reaching out to us on, where can they reach us, Andrew?
Well, if you guys have some comments and stuff like that, we can always reach us at upuntilnowpodcast@gmail.com, or check us out in our Instagram with the handle of upuntilnowpodcast. And please comment, rate, and subscribe. And let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's anything we could fix. Anything you don't like, anything you like. We'll do our best to cater towards you guys.
Definitely. And then I want to take this time again, as always, to thank my friend Eric for providing us with the music that we use in this podcast. Truly, it is awesome to have creative friends that are also venturing into their own personal creativity and expressing themselves in that way. And if you want to follow Eric with his music, you can be found on Instagram at ch.tunes, and also on SoundCloud at ch.tunes as well. Just thank you again for taking a listen to our podcast, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.